Hello, Aries. How are you doing? I'm sorry, the fire signs ended up last this go around, but you are up first, so that is good. My name's Lauren. This is the Untitled Tarot. I hope you're all doing very, very well. I was sitting in your energy for a little bit, and it's funny because it is very nasty out today, and it's really cold down here. And it was really cold down here yesterday. I kept changing into like different hoodies, like thicker hoodies as the day went on. And it's actually colder down here today, but I absolutely refuse to go upstairs right now. Like, absolutely not. I'm already down here. So I don't know if you guys are feeling a little stubborn about something. It's not unlike an Aries to be a little stubborn. And I was hearing some funny things. I was hearing like whitewashing, which is like to gloss over something, you know? I was hearing at any costs, no retreat. So I don't know if there is a situation or a circumstance that you guys find yourselves in, maybe that you feel has perhaps gotten a little ahead of you, or there's something that you've already invested a lot into, whatever that may be, and you're like, well, I've already put all of this time, work, effort, energy into this, can't stop now. Or maybe you guys just want something really bad, and despite your obstacles, it's like no defeat, no surrender, maybe. I don't know, we're gonna have to look and see. As always, we wanna thank Source for being with us here today. We wanna thank them for the love, the blessings, the abundance, every day, every way, always. Thank you for connecting with me. Thank you for helping me connect with Aries, our little rams today. Let's see if we have any messages in your highest of good. A lot of birds outside. A lot of birds out today for a rainy day. You don't want to catch your program. Maybe my hands are just frozen down here because it's so cold. I could just go upstairs and get a hoodie, but I just want to sit down here and be uncomfortable, I guess. Let's see. I'm using the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck by Stacey DeMarco for you guys today. I'm just letting each sign pick their own deck. I'm not gonna tell you which deck that you have to use. And then the Everyday Witches Tarot by Deborah Blake, which we use a lot here. Anyways, let's pull from here first. For you. Aries. Self-love. I don't feel like an overburdened stress with you guys. I think you guys are maybe handling everything pretty well. You're just kind of powering through, like I expect my little fire signs to do. Self-reflection. I can't give up. That's what I'm hearing. Fear. Anything else? No. Did I show you the fear card? Fear. Self-reflection. And self-love. So off the bat, to be honest, These feel a little bit like advice cards off the bat for me. What I think Source is really trying to tell you is, I don't know what you're doing, right? We have to get into the tarot. This isn't a personalized reading, but I do really get the sense that there is something that you have invested yourself in, and either despite the circumstances, you feel the need to just power through, as an Aries does, just ram your way, just like to the finish line. Or you feel like there's a situation that maybe has gotten a little bit of ahead of you, and because you've invested so much in it, it's like too late, or you don't have the ability to retreat or to unstick yourself from a situation, or to have a control of the pace. Like you don't have a control of the pace. It feels like it's you don't necessarily have a problem with what you're doing. It's the pace. You know, it's like this girl, she's holding on to all of these crows. You know what I mean? They're not disconnected from her, flying around her, creating all of this chaos. She's still holding on to them. So it seems like this is a situation that like you are connected to, and you do potentially have more control over the pacing of how this is transpiring more than you think, right? Because not only does she have these birds, but she also has the cage. And so I think it's also telling you not to let your fears and your anxieties really get away from you, because they're still connected to you. So you could pull them back in, rein it back in, and then really take a second to go into this self-reflective moment. Face your fears, your insecurities. What's bothering you? Why do you feel like whatever it is that you're working on cannot be adjusted or rerouted? You know? And a lot of that could come from feelings of self-love. I have to make this work. I have to make this work. Whatever that is for you. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe you feel like this is your only shot at love, and so you don't have necessarily control over the pacing of this relationship, whether within the dynamics of that relationship or because of external factors like corona and social distancing and all of that stuff. Maybe it has to do with a job, you know what I mean, that you have come so far on your course in your career, and now you're really at a point where you're trying to level up. I'm sorry, my throat all of a sudden. Are you guys having trouble expressing yourselves? My throat all of a sudden. And you feel like I really need this job, like I really need this opportunity to prove myself, to show my worth, like look where I got myself. You know, that really wraps back into feelings of self-worth. And, you know, those aren't things that we can really recognize in ourselves until we face our fears and we really stop for a second to look at ourselves. Is this something that we really need to be holding on to? Is it benefiting us and our higher good? If it is, are we approaching it the right way? If it isn't, are we approaching that the right way or the wrong way in terms of dealing with rerouting that into something that is more of for our higher good? Because there have been plenty of times in my life where I have started projects and I got a certain amount of the way through, and then I was like, I don't really feel like I want to do this anymore. And I had to think about that, like, is that because I'm being lazy, I'm lacking follow through, like I'm being insecure in my abilities to finish this project, or because I've grown or I've hit a point in my life or in the way that I'm thinking or in the way that I'm feeling or where I am with myself, that this situation, even though I've been working towards it for a long time, it doesn't really suit me anymore. It's not in my highest good anymore. I've changed, and so the situations and the circumstances, I'm having a hard time talking today for some reason, and the people around me like also sometimes need to change too. So let's go into the tarot. Let's see. Three of Pentacles, working. Is that wanting to have something to show for your work? I've already invested. The Moon in reverse. Maybe getting honest with ourselves by facing these fears in this reflection. The Page of Swords. Finding that clarity that we need. Because it looks like you know what you're doing, but it doesn't seem like, and I feel like you have a reason in your head for why you're doing it, but there's like a deeper reason deep down that like you're not addressing for why you're doing what you're doing, other than the surface on paper reasons that you tell yourself. Well, yeah, I do this because I've been doing this forever. Well, yeah, I do this because it's always been this way. Yeah, I do this because that's what I do. Well, maybe you're supposed to do something different. 8 of Cups. Maybe there's more cups for you emotionally in whatever way. A job that maybe doesn't look as good on paper or doesn't have the dental plan of your dreams, but you know, is gonna fill your soul. Same thing can go for love, same thing can go for personal relationships, passion projects. We got a flyer. I feel like I usually get, I feel like I almost always only get flyers. Oh my, come here. Are you afraid that pursuing a different person, interest, job opportunity, whatever, is not going to be like a stable decision for you? Because you have the Page of Cups in reverse and you have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. And looking at this, it just makes me feel like you feel like you've already invested so much into whatever it is that you're doing, that the idea or finding out maybe the truth within yourself, that maybe you want to redirect your course in whatever way that looks like for you. You're afraid that maybe while it will be creative and it is an inspiring idea to have, that it's not gonna lead itself to you being successful or comfortable in that, or like it's just not gonna work out for you. Like, stay the course, like don't go the road less followed kind of thing. It might be creative and inspiring and make you feel like you're a kid again, taking on the world on a whole new project or a whole new love or complete course direction in your life. But that's a scary thing to do, for sure. It's really scary. But these are elements that are also in our control. Pentacles are also tangible. They're things that you can hold. So you have the ability to turn this upright. You seem like you're really nervous, like that you're not gonna be able to get the stability that you want by changing your course. It's like it's like the devil, you know. 1333 on the camera as I said that. Knight of Cups though. You thinking about spilling the beans? You thinking about talking to somebody about possibly just talking shop about maybe a different plan, a different route, how that might look for you, something you really do love and care about. And it could be this thing. You could turn around and look in on yourself and look at this situation that you've invested time in and be like, you know what, I actually do really still care about it. I want to continue to invest in this situation. I want to see it through to the other side. I have grown and I think that it can grow. Temperance, finding your balance, coming back home, that's self-reflection, that's self-love. It always starts with you. You can't make any decisions or operate properly with other people unless you know what you want and who you are and what you're asking for from others. Your head and your heart and your soul have to be in alignment. Knight of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. I feel like this is you. You're nervous to make a change. Because with this Ten of Pentacles in reverse, you do care about your stability. You do care about your footing. This isn't the Knight of Wands just rushing in all crazy like, I mean, look at this guy. He looks like a real sweet guy. Look at him. Looks really nice. He's like, hey, I've been working on this little thing and I have this little pentacle and I know that I'm just a knight and I'm not a king yet, but I'm ready. And so I think that with this Knight of Cups, this Temperance, and this Knight of Pentacles, it was just you really coming back home to yourself to really think about what you want, what you really want, which might be this thing that you've been working on, for sure. But with this Eight of Cups, it tells me that it might not be. It could have been, and that's fine. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to grow and then require different and new things, you know, to fill your cup. That's why she's looking for 2 more. She has a bunch of cups already. It's not that she doesn't have any cups. It's that she's thirsty for a different kind of wine. And she can only find it out there. So, but then you have this Ace of Wands, which is passionate and inspired and magical. Like, look at this girl. She's like, oh my God, I think I'm doing it. I think I'm really doing it. And it shows that you can, and that you could feel totally reinvigorated and passionate and inspired about this situation, breathe a new life into the situation that you've already invested yourself in. Absolutely. But everything that I'm seeing is telling me that you might feel like you're maybe in like a little bit of quicksand, but you're not in quicksand. You're fine. The situation isn't getting ahead of you, but you need to stop for a second and just check back in with yourself and really remind yourself of what you want and why you want it and why you're doing the things that you're doing. Like, not just the end objective, but also the motives behind it. And there might be some underlying motives underneath that perhaps you're not considering. So, I feel like I want to pull 1736. Okay, I feel like I want to pull one of these real quick. Just because I feel like you guys need a little, I don't normally pull 3 decks, but I feel like you guys need a little pick me up. Yeah, so I'm gonna side. This is the Animal Oracle deck, or the Spirit Animal Oracle deck by Colette Baron-Reid. I love this one. It's a goodie. I love the Good Tarot by her too. It's so good. She's thebomb.com. You know, it's funny, I don't feel as cold now as I did when I started this reading, so maybe you guys are warming up to the situation a little bit. You're Rams, you're stubborn. But I'm thinking about going upstairs and putting on a sweatshirt now, because it is cold as hell. It's raining, it's nasty out. I'm quarantined in the house with a corona. Well, I don't have the corona, but I have to make sure that I'm doing my part to stay away from everybody, because that's the appropriate thing to do. Everybody do your share. This is all I can do, is just stay home. So here we are. All right. Thank you, Spirit team, for being with us today. Can we give our little Aries like just a little piece of advice, a little send off? Watch your words. Parrot spirit. Watch your word, parrot spirit. So this could come off very obvious in the sense of just like, watch your mouth. But for me, for you right now, I think this is about really watch what you're saying to yourself. Any kind of that negative self-talk that I can't do this, feeding into the idea that you are stuck when you are not, perhaps. I don't know what's going on with you exactly. This is not a personal reading. But I'm getting the sense that a lot of this feeling of quicksand or being stuck or feeling like you don't have control over a situation is really coming from you and not other people and the external environment. It's the change within your own mind. And so really watch any like self-doubt or self-defeating talk that says that like you can't do something, that you can't be someone different, that you can't do something different. Watch that. Because look at this parrot. He's beautiful. He's colorful. He's flying. And you can too. And your next two cards. Sometimes life stings. Wasp spirit. Absolutely. Course corrections are not always clean and seamless and easy. And the process of going deep down inside to really see who we are and why we're doing what we're doing, and if it's worth doing what we're doing anymore, is also a messy process. Yes? And so it's also humbling, though. And when you're humbled a little bit, I feel like you have more clarity because you have more empathy and you also have more freedom to forgive others, but mostly also to forgive yourself, to not feel bad for wanting something different or wanting to change directions. And flamingo spirit. Embrace the in-between. You're not quite at the finish line of whatever you're working on. You're not quite at something new. You're in the in-between, and that is a very uncomfortable place to be, right? It's like a butterfly. It's like a caterpillar. It goes in its little cocoon, it becomes like a chrysalis, and it like becomes all like weird and gelatinous, and then eventually it grows into a butterfly, or in your case, a parrot. That's so great for you. We love that for you. We want to see that. We want to see that. This Three of Pentacles, you obviously have no problem working towards what you want. The whole idea is just to embrace this period of in-between where maybe you don't really know, where you're not sure if you still want what you wanted before. And that's okay. And that's a messy process. Like emotionally, you know, in your head, you can get in your head, you get in your feels, you get a bellyache, whatever it is for you. And, you know, steering that car from one lane to another can sometimes, you know, you can't make an omelet without cracking a few eggs. Some of them are emotional. Some of them are in a frying pan, the frying pan of your life. But we don't know that yet because you haven't decided. So this is a good time to work on yourself. Watch your words. Watch that fear. Come back. Love yourself. Look at yourself. Take your hits. Learn your lessons. Embrace it. You'll figure out what you want because you have this Temperance upright. You got the balance. You got the love. You got it under control. Just recheck in with yourself and why you're doing what you're doing. Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. And if not, then be gentle with yourself in the restructuring. All right? So thank you very much, Aries. Thank you for having me. If you need anything, I'm here. I'll see you next time. Bye.